Hello, this is Joy Lewis in conversation today with Jewel Diamond Taylor. Jewel, you're a well known keynote speaker at conferences and also a very popular seminar workshop leader. And you cover various topics such as relationships, faith, self esteem, goal setting, resiliency, overcoming procrastination, and finding your purpose. But today we're going to talk about leadership.
Oh, that's great.
Tell me about
I
that.
love that. Yeah. You know, there are more and more women today that are owning their businesses. There are more and more women today that are realizing that they have gifts and they have talents. There are more and more women realizing that they've got to step into authority. They've got to deal with sexism or racism, or they have to even deal with their own low self-esteem, not realizing that there's a leader inside of them. I had to find that for myself. So there's several points that I talk about. I want to share with you some of the points that I talk about in my signature series called Leadership.
Great, I like that. Leadership.
I don't apologize for working with just women. You know, that's where my gift is. That's my wheelhouse. That's my strength.
I like that.
And really what I'm teaching women, it applies universally. But I love customizing and personalizing my teaching for women since I know about that. And so there's several points I love teaching in my signature series called Leadership, okay? Because I feel like that women sometimes shy away from being a leader, and I believe that every woman is a leader, even if it's just for her children, in her home, in her community, in her church. She may not have a title, she may not have a degree, she may not have a podium or a microphone, but she's leading in the workplace. She's a leader maybe in politics. She's a leader. She's a role model. People are watching her. Sunday school, she's a leader. And so there's some points I love sharing, and I want to share those with you today. I think that a lot of times we focus just on ability, skills, your gifts, your talents, but there's so much more to having the ability to lead. There's so much more. And so there's several points I talk about. One of them is compatibility. Are the people you're working with, are the people you're leading, are the people on your team, are you all compatible? Do you vibe? Do you get each other? Do you communicate well? Many times I stepped off into situations and relationships and organizations and businesses, and the people I was working with, we were not compatible. What a great learning lesson. Another thing that's important is understanding not only ability or compatibility, but responsibility. Can people count on you? What are your tasks? Are you mature? Do you follow through? Responsibility. How do you respond to the task at hand? How do you respond to a setback? How do you respond when the customer is unhappy? How do you respond to conflict? Responsibility, showing up for the task, even though it's hard, even though it's difficult, even though they're haters. What's your responsibility? Even though you're tired, even though sometimes you second guess yourself, as a leader, you have a responsibility to follow through, to get the job done. Not only should we focus on ability and compatibility and responsibility, but how about adaptability? I love teaching women how to adapt. You know, life, there is no straight line to success. How do you adapt when people don't like you? How do you adapt when you have to put in long hours? How do you adapt when people are talking about you? How do you adapt when the weather changes or the prices go up? How do you adapt when the shipment is late? How do you adapt with people who are difficult or fragile or problematic? How do you adapt? It's like a football game. You got to be able to dodge the bullets. That's being able to adapt. Because let me tell you, the bullets are going to come. The challenges are going to come. And I love teaching leaders how to adapt. Let me tell you, in the years that I have been a leader, I've had to deal with sickness, flat tires, no check, middle check, late shipments. I've had to deal with loss. I've had to deal with weather. I've had to deal with canceled flights, late flights. I've had to deal with people that were obviously difficult and problematic, but my personality and my perseverance, I had to adapt. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to be on time. Not everybody is going to be responsible. But when you're a leader, you have to know how to adapt. The next point I love teaching about is availability. I have women that are in my tribe, on my team, women that want to be a part of what I'm doing. And one of the things I stress is let me know your availability. I need to know in advance. I need to know as a leader who I can count on, who's going to be there all the way, who's going to be there to the finish line, who can I count on for the small tasks, the minor tasks, the major tasks. This is very important. So I love empowering women and leaders how to communicate in such a way that you find out who is available, because people have busy lives, people have hidden agendas, stuff happens. People assume, and sometimes we assume. So it's important that we learn how to communicate with our team, with those that are on our staff, with those that are part of our vision. What is their availability, and then what is your availability? As women, sometimes we are bouncing many different balls in the air. We got family, we got children, we got classes. Some of you are taking care of aging parents. Some of you are raising your grandchildren. Some of you have car issues or money issues or health issues. Some people are not really savvy in their time management. And so as a leader, you have to know how to communicate clearly and find out who is available. What time blocks do you need people? And communicate that clearly so that you can minimize mistakes. So we're talking today about ability, compatibility, responsibility, adaptability, availability, and the last, this is so important. This is so important, is accountability. That if the ball drops, if something gets done, do you have the courage and the character to take responsibility for something that didn't get done? Look, there's going to be faux pas. Things are going to happen. Screws are going to be loose. Things are just going to happen. And being accountable is a sign of maturity, is a sign of leadership. There have been times that I dropped the ball. There have been times I miscommunicated. There were times I moved too fast or I moved too slow. There were times I didn't cross my T and dot my I's. I have to be accountable for whatever my name is on. So if you want to create a brand for yourself, if you want success with your team, if you want to have the income from your efforts as a businesswoman, you got to be accountable. You know, it's so easy to blame people. It's so easy to say, well, I thought. It's so easy to say, well, I'm tired. It's so easy to say, well, the weather or the shipment. At the end of the day, it's all about accountability. We're human. We're gonna have mistakes. We're gonna have challenges. There are gonna be flaws. But at the end of the day, as a leader, are you accountable? Or do you blame? Or do you shame those that are beside you? Some of you as leaders have volunteers and some of you have employees. But I believe they all should be treated the same. So I love teaching in my leadership form. This is my signature series. I came up with that term, leadership, because I believe that every woman has a ship, that she's got to be the master of her ship.
Jewel, you shared some very enlightening and powerful points. What would you say to the woman who says, I would love to attend Jewel Diamond Taylor's workshop, but I'm not a leader. I'm not a CEO. I don't own a business.
Yeah.
I'm not a supervisor, but I want to come to that workshop. What would you tell that woman?
I would say, I understand, because I was that woman. I was that woman. Power scared me. No one ever told me I was a leader. I understand that intimidation. And I believe the style that I bring to the table of embracing women from all walks of life. Listen, I have taught in corporate America. I've taught on college campuses. I've taught leadership in churches. I've taught leadership on a community level. I teach leadership to my team. I understand. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm an author. I'm a life coach. Look, I know what it's like to wear many hats, so I understand how sometimes we actually minimize ourselves. buy into the lie that is lonely at the top. And I came from a generation where we as women were taught, find that shoe, that Cinderella shoe that will fit your foot and get Prince Charming. I'm of a generation now where it's not about the shoe that fits, it's about the shoe that kicks the glass ceiling. And that's what I did 30 years ago. I kicked the glass ceiling. I was one of the first women of color to be a motivational speaker. I didn't know what I know now, but the process of kicking that glass ceiling, the process of learning my abilities, what are my gifts and talents, the process of finding who I'm compatible with. Look, there have been women on my team that have left, come and they go. And I found out which ones I'm compatible with. I have learned responsibility with money, responsibility with time, responsibility with not mismanaging people. So being a leader, I've learned so many things and I love sharing them. And so when we talk about responsibility, I realize as a leader, you have to be careful about how you deal with people, how you deal with time, how you deal with money, how you honor the products, how you honor your customers, how you honor those who are following you. It's about integrity. I don't want to deliver, I want to over-deliver. So I found that that's really key. So I want to invite some of you to come to some of my leadership training forums where I talk about these things. It's not just about your ability, what you know how to do. Are you efficient? Are you effective? Are you making an impact? Are people influenced by you in a positive way? So it's not just about ability or compatibility or responsibility. It's about adaptability. Are you flexible? Are you like water? Or are you too rigid? We talk about the left brain and the right brain. Oh, there's just so many things I love sharing in my leadership forums. We talk about availability. Don't make promises you can't keep. Be on post. Do what you say you're going to do. And don't be burned out. It's really tricky getting that balance. Am I too available or am I not available enough? You want to find that great sweet spot where you're not burning yourself out, overworking yourself, or neglecting your responsibilities because you're not showing up. And the last one is accountability. These are just some of the highlights. These are just some of the gems that I share in my leadership forum, my signature series. I would love for you to learn more about what I do. I have a website, JewelDiamondTaylor.com. If you would like me to come to your city, to your corporation, your university, even your church, or come to your sales team, I would love to impart with you some of the great ideas and life lessons and strategies that I have learned as a lead herd. I want to help you. I want to encourage you. I want to partner with you so that your team, so that you can soar to greater heights. Why don't you call Jewel Diamond Taylor, the creator of the signature series called Lead Hership Forum. God bless you, and thank you for watching today.